A year ago I bought this Japanese maple, and using a brand new weed whacker with a larger than I expected, I got too close to this tree and it chipped off the bark there, and I really didn't know what to do. I'd heard that petroleum products, the petroleum-based products, are bad news because they trap moisture underneath them when they crack and can introduce more problems that you're trying to prevent. So I did some more research and I stumbled upon a YouTube video from Central America, a gentleman who runs a commercial orchard. He described how he uses this, and it's the only thing he uses in his orchard. And he demonstrated how he uses it and showed some of the results on trees, time series of photographs. I was fairly interested in it because it makes a lot of sense. It's a silica-based product instead. And you put it on with a paintbrush. I used a small painter's brush, and 5 minutes between coats. And what's amazing about it is that for a year, this wound stayed pretty much unchanged. And part of that may be because it was over the winter. But as soon as I cleaned this up a little bit, trimmed off some loose bark, and applied it, I'd say within 3 weeks, it started to grow the rind or the scar tissue that's going to close this up. And you can see that there's some brown, that dark perimeter that you see around the edge. That's not shadow, that's the actual scar tissue that the tree is going to encroach, inward toward the center until it closes this up. And the tree just doesn't even know that this stuff is there. And no rot or any other infestations have occurred. It's a remarkable product. It's so simple in its use too. You just paint it on, wait 5 minutes, put another couple coats on, but 5 minutes between each, and you're done. And just wanted to let people know about it because I think it's the best product. But you won't find it at your big box stores or even a garden center probably. I had to order this from a forestry products company, and they'll ship it right to you. And I'll put the link in the video if anybody's interested. I don't represent this company. I just think it's a good product. Okay, about 2 weeks later, since the last video showing a progression of the scar filling the void there, and it's you can see that brown red scar is growing to fit. It's trying to fill that space where there's some bare wood, and it's really progressing quickly. At this rate, the whole thing might be sealed by the end of summer, early fall. So it's been about 4 or 5 weeks since I've applied the Tree Bandage product. It's that white haze that you see on the bark there, some of it running down the trunk. It's made of silica. It's a silica solution. And my gosh, the stuff looks like it looks like it's barely there, but it sure promotes the tree healing itself. You can see that pinkish red scar that is going to eventually close that bare wood that you see in the center. It's doing exactly what other reviews, some experts have described, and what the package says will happen. And it hasn't required any additional applications. In fact, I'm not sure that would be helpful. But nothing wants to grow in there and cause rot or anything, and I guess they're just inhibited. These microbes or funguses, things like that, must be inhibited by the silica. Just another quick update. You see the recovery continues. That purple scar just going to keep moving into the center and hopefully fill that hole, that void there in the middle where there's no bark. Looking pretty good. It's been several weeks since I've updated with a video on this tree, but it's obvious now that this is making great progress, and I've had no signs of any fungus or any bug infestations. I still see the traces, the milky sort of traces of the tree bandage on there, and it just works. The tree's doing great. Okay, it's now early November, and we just had our first really hard frost that ended the growing season and will perhaps end the amount of progress this scarring, this scar here that's refilling that gash on the side of this Japanese maple. But in about a year, it's gone from a gaping wound to almost filled in. And you can see the tree bandage is the white stuff that's still on the tree where it ran down. And it has not required additional applications, and it's just continued to keep it free of any like bacterial or fungal growth. So I have to say I'm really continue to be very impressed with Tree Bandage. This stuff works.